Good evening and welcome to New York Rock Review. I'm Tom Gafkin, and today we have two special guests from the band The Basement Duck, a heavy metal band. To my left here is Johnny Rich, vocalist and lead keyboard player here for Basement Duck, and to my right, bass player Rick Lee. How you doing, Rick?
As well as can be expected.
As well as can be expected. Well, here we are in the middle of New York City on a beautiful Wednesday evening. And how's your trip in New York been so far?
You know, it was pretty good. We ran into some bum taxi driver who didn't know what he was doing. I'd like to say something about the taxi service in New York.
Well, we'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. As far as Basement Duck goes, I understand you two are the main leaders of that band. Am I correct?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. We started up the band in the late 70s, kind of as an alternative to bands like the Bee Gees, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I met Rick in college, and we both liked the same kind of band, same kind of music. So we got together and formed a band ourselves, and shit, here we are.
Good enough, good enough. Rick, as far as the name of Basement Duck, if you originally started out with Basement Duck, that's right, and then you went to The Basement Duck, then why the The? Why make such a... I understand on one of the albums you made a big deal about The.
We got a lot of flack about that, and I really don't understand why, because it's our name and we chose to change it, and if there was another band's name, I'd understand why we're getting this bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Good enough. You haven't really answered the question about The as much. Why make such a big deal about The?
Well, we changed it on the 24th of May in 1981, I believe.
82.
82?
82.
It was for our third album. What was the title?
Could have sworn the safety was on.
Right.
Could have sworn the safety was on. I heard that album. That wasn't a very popular album as far as America is concerned. Why can you explain that to us? Why it wasn't such a big popular hit?
Well, there's a reason.
Well, yeah, actually, there's a story behind our popularity or our lack of popularity. It was our third album, and we had this agent who was handling our albums distribution, and there was some kind of screw up, and he got the albums that we made. He sent them to Papua New Guinea, and there was some kind of band, some other band he was managing. What were their names?
Motley Rude.
Yeah, Motley Rude.
Motley Rude.
For some goddamn awful reason, they got popular here in the U.S. and we got popular in New Guinea. Anyway, we toured in New Guinea for a while and just drew crowds and crowds of people. You wouldn't believe the incredible crowds that we drew.
Thousands.
And then we came back to the U.S. I think after the tour we had grossed
$350.
about $350, but most of that was from Rick's commercial.
The commercial you did. Can we hear about that?
Well, it wasn't very popular. I mean, it never aired in the United States, only in New Guinea.
Big commercial in New Guinea. That grossed only the money. You didn't get any money from your concerts at all?
Well, it was due to mismanagement. We think he was hiding money under the table or something like that.
Mm-hmm. What was the commercial for then?
Gibbon guitars.
Gibson guitars?
No, Gibbon, like the monkey.
Oh, like the monkey. Okay. And then what happened? What happened then?
Well, needless to say, we fired the bastard and hired Amadeo Avogadro as our new agent. And we're expecting our album, Peace Through Blood Transfusions, to do very well in the U.S.
Amadeo Avogadro. Who else does he handle?
And
I've heard that name a lot here in the United States.
I don't believe he handles anybody else.
I thought he had some kind of connection with the chemical industry somehow.
I thought he was...
okay, that's probably where I've heard that.
Isn't
that
it
name
nuclear?
Before in the chemical.
Nuclear?
Chemicals, I think, is where he's at, because that's definitely how I remember his name. Looking at your first album, Suck the Road, I believe is what it was called, and you wrote the famous title track off that, one of your biggest money makers in the And the reason you're such a big star now, Devil Bunnies.
Yeah, I wrote it.
Yeah.
So?
Well, gets a little twisted, doesn't it? The whole album, in fact.
No, it's a lot twisted.
A lot.
And it's damned well meant to be. You see, it's kind of our statement, a metaphorical statement, as to the bands that try desperately to make money off of the devil. It's really sad because whatever happened to just plain old rock and roll?
Yeah.
Good point.
In our opinion, those people can go suck the road.
Oh, okay. Well, what's it like living on the road, being married and going on the road all the time? Rich, you're married.
Well,
how's that go?
I've got my wife Jackie and my twin sons Bob and Rob, and my pride and joy, my daughter Lucifer. Would you like to see pictures?
Lucifer, you named your daughter after the devil?
Means morning star, man.
Oh.
Get off my ass.
I'm afraid I must apologize then.
You know, it's kind of nice getting away from the family hassles for 2-3 months out of the year, and you know, during the summer, my family tours right along with me.
Yeah, break away, get loose, hang out. Is that when you mostly write your songs then, or
I mostly write them in the bathroom. Yes.
I do most of my writing there too. Journalistic person.
I can tell.
Of course, you remember what happened on our last tour.
Yes, I remember reading about that. Something about the Puma you had on tour, breaking you loose and chasing someone through the halls at the rock concert hall.
He broke loose, and quite frankly, it scared the piss out of us.
Did it?
Yeah. Of course, we knew the Puma was dangerous, and we normally keep him heavily sedated. But I think that night Rick gave him just a little too much alcohol, and he got kind of crazy, and we're right now involved in a pretty big legal suit about the disclaimer on the back of our tickets.
Which is, do you remember?
Basically, it says if you are injured or fucked up in any way, doesn't mean anything to us.
It doesn't. So you're just escaping all the things that could have happened. Okay.
Yeah. Explosions, fires, mass hysteria.
What finally happened to the Puma? You kept on stage. You don't have it anymore, I've heard.
Well, a security guard shot him, and we're suing him as well.
Well, that's good. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight's New York Rock Review. I'm Tom Geffin, and we've been with interviewing Basement Duck with Rick Lee and Johnny.
Lights. You gotta do something with these lights. They're too bright.
A little bright.
Yeah.
Next people that come in here are gonna complain about that. You know?
Okay. Well, this is their hotel room, and it doesn't really matter that we just burned down the walls over there.
Go ahead, you.
But the alcohol's all soaked in. That's all the time we have for right now. We're going to take a look at one of their latest videos they've done. What did you do that about a half a year ago now? That's when.
Yes, I don't know.
Actually, it's one of the earlier videos. It's a variation on AC/DC's Highway to
Hell. And there it is. So we'll cut right to that.
You know it.
Good evening. Hey, birthday. Shit, we're on a roll. But look back to the topic. You know, Rich, you wrote the goddamn thing. Maybe we can remember it.
I can't fucking read it.
We're sorry we fucked up.
I like